This week on 49ers Sac-Hi Sports, it's our fall award show and action from football state championship games. You'll see Grant go for its second state title in school history, Escalon playing for its second title as well, and Houston going for its first.
Boys basketball has Laguna Creek taking on Sacramento. Girls basketball features Vista del Lago and Whitney. And we'll introduce our players of the year for the fall season. 49ers Sac-Hi Sports starts right now.
Welcome to 49ers Sac-Hi Sports. I'm Aubrey Tolliver.
And I'm Robert Brownstein. One of our favorite shows of the year as we conclude the fall season with state championship football games and we meet our players of the year. Let's kick off the show in Escalon, where the Cougars hope to take home its second state title in Division IV AA.
Escalon won the NorCal title with a 22-point win over Pleasant Valley. Junior Nate Krieger with a big game on defense with 11 tackles. The Cougars taking on the Northwood Timberwolves out of Irvine, California for the state title game on Saturday night.
The rain played a huge part in this game as hours and hours of rain hit the Escalon area before this game, and that did affect each team's play. Escalon took advantage of the wet field and ball early on as Jamin Miller comes up with the loose ball, and Escalon's in business. And the Cougars picked up some points as well after Donovan Rozovic picks up the loose ball and chucks it to the corner of the end zone for Ryan Lewis, who makes the TD catch. It's 7-0 Cougars. In the second quarter, Northwood gets on the board as their quarterback, Eugene Maeda, keeps it himself and scores it as he rumbles up the middle for a game-tying score. That muddy field really made it difficult to hang on the ball. Here it squeaks out, and Javier Gutierrez for Escalon jumps on it, and we are all tied up at 7 at the half. Opening drive, third quarter, Escalon runs the counter, and they get Northwood leaning left. Logan Anderson's running right down the right side of the field. The senior scores a 49-yard touchdown, and the Cougars lead it 14-7. Late third quarter now, this high-powered Northwoods offense really could not get anything going in the game as Miller gets the big tackle for the loss. We go to the fourth quarter, and the workhorse Riker Peters caps off a 17 consecutive running plays by Peters himself as he scores from 6 yards out, and the Cougars are starting to pull away. Late in the game, Northwood to the air, but Owen Nash was there to pick off the pass, and he's got that country road. Take him home. Nash with the pick six in the state title game, and that's going to do it. The Escalon Cougars go on to win the 4AA title, a Gatorade bath for Coach Beam, and a state trophy for the school's trophy case. Peters was a workhorse for the Cougars, 166 yards on 34 carries and a score. We talked to a few of the Cougars after the game.
It's a mud bowl. Wasn't the game we expected, but it was the outcome we expected and the outcome we worked for. Proud of my team. They're dogs.
About time. Last year, after the sections game, I said I can stop until I get a ring on my finger. Look at me now.
We knew how Inglefield is. It's going to be muddy, and it was going to be a challenge. But that first half we struggled a little bit, but we came through that second half. We really brought it together, especially our line, like Coach Beam said. They stepped it up, and it's unreal.
Nick Pecoraro with first-round action from the Mark Makers tournament. Monterey Trail hosting Valley on Thursday. First quarter, get ready to hear this name a lot this season. Varick Lewis. He gets the swoop and the scoop, and then just seconds later, he's showing off the bunnies, and the Mustangs go up 6-0 early. Valley trying to make some noise in the first. Here's Josiah Nguyen Lewis with a 3 to tie the game at 9, but Monterey Trail has an answer. Brandon Gibson twisting and turning, looking like a contortionist getting this bucket to fall. Here's something that looks a little bit more smooth. Varick Lewis with a silky jumper, and the Stangs lead 21-9 after 1. I promise you this is not the same clip I just showed you. Lewis again, the Long Beach commit with the long-range drip. And how about one more time for good measure? He had 20 of his 29 points in the first half Thursday. Okay, so for a split second, I thought I was going to have to explain why my camera was busted because of this block by Kentrell Kelly. Glad I avoided that conversation. Valley's Amir Melendez makes a strong baseline move to the hoop, but, you know, Varick Lewis isn't the only shooter on Monterey Trail. Brandon Gibson had 3 triples on Thursday. Stangs up 20 at the half. So this halftime half-court shot is for a $200 raffle prize. Cha-ching! Are you not entertained? He buries it on the first try, and he's so excited he just runs out of the building and forgets to collect his money. To the third quarter now. Brandon Gibson throwing down. He had 15 points on Thursday. And then it's Varick Lewis again. You got to put a hand in his face. Lewis in the fourth quarter now with a little dime behind the back. Marvin Pulley with the extra pass to Kelly. You know what's scary? Monterey Trail isn't even at full strength yet. The Mustangs roll to their first win, 92-51.
Folsom hosting Pleasant Valley of Chico in the Folsom Vista Winter Classic Friday night. Some great early season hoops. The Vikings get out to a fast start. AJ Gamble dishes it out to Naya Fortune. Naya gets all the riches. And PV jumps out to a 9-3 lead when Ava Dunn's gorgeous pass feeds Gamble in stride to the hoop. A good start for the Vikes, but Folsom not going anywhere. Jada to Powell with the pickpocket. Then Jada making her way to the rack. She goes in with the left, and Folsom would eventually erase that early PV lead. To Powell, to Cameron Mafua. She is well defended. She hits the fade. We are tied at 13 after 1. The Bulldogs with their first lead of the night here, but Gamble ain't liking it. She swats that away. Then the Vikings take the lead back. Maddox Wilson at the wing. That's good from distance. It's 18-14 Pleasant Valley. But a nice run by the Bulldogs to close out the half. Aaron Bright to Ella Uriarte, and that's a long two. Then Uriarte with the steal. She takes it to the rack for the easy lay-in. 29-22 Folsom at the break. Pleasant Valley looking to cut down the halftime deficit. Ava Dunn to Wilson. She screens out Maddox's defender so she can hit that three. It's a 6-point game. Then Caitlin Vickery's shot from deep is drained. We would be all tied up at 35. Brianna Kimmons puts the Bulldogs back ahead after the strong drive to the rack with the and one. Folsom leads by 1 heading into the final frame. Fortune to Gamble. Never gamble your fortune on these two playmakers. PV up by 1. But back on top go the Bulldogs. To Powell, to Sophia Minderman. The drive, reverse, and the foul. The Bulldogs run it out to close off the game. Brooklyn Perry with a few steps before passing it back to Minderman. One fake, and she lets it fly from downtown Folsom. Sophia would finish the game with 21. Aaron Bright is second on the team with 11 as she goes deep there. Folsom with the 7-point win over Pleasant Valley to advance to the championship game of its own tournament. We'll see highlights from the other semifinal game a little later on. Each week this season, Roseville Hyundai brings us the Players of the Week. Our first Player of the Week is Riker Peters from Escalon for his big performance in the NorCal title game last week. We just saw Riker in the state title game. Last week, Riker scored 2 touchdowns, tallying up 179 rushing yards on 16 carries. He also had 6 tackles on defense.
Our second Roseville Hyundai Player of the Week is Liam Bridgeford from Houston. The Huskies with an incredible second-half comeback in the NorCal title game. Liam had 146 rushing yards, 1 touchdown, and an interception. We will see Houston in the state title game in just a few minutes. Liam Bridgeford and Riker Peters, this week's Roseville Hyundai Players of the Week.
SMUD is leading the nation in clean power, so each week SMUD teaches us how we can save energy.
Here's this week's Clean Power City Tip, powered by SMUD.
Hi, my name is Jason Teeter from Nickerham High School, and here's this week's Clean Power City Tip. Take shorter showers, install low-flow shower heads, and turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll minimize water waste and save energy too. SMUD is leading the nation in clean power. Learn more at cleanpowercity.org.
Coming up, our first on Power Electric game, Houston takes on Muir of Pasadena for the state title.
Then it's Jesuit and Christian Brothers in boys soccer. You're watching 49ers Sac-Hi.
At Tracy Toyota, we're not just devoted to selling cars. We're committed to our community. We're donating $100,000 to help local organizations in Tracy. We call it Champions Thanking Heroes, like the Seeds of Life Center, who serves the local community. We're even donating $50 for every vehicle sold. Shop our great lineup of new Toyotas in person or at tracytoyota.com. Our certified used cars come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Tracy Toyota, with you all the way.
Commitment, performance, pride. Roseville Hyundai is thrilled to be the feature sponsor of this week's Sac-Hi Players of the Week. We take great pride in recognizing each of your accomplishments as part of our continued effort to support the community. Come see the electrifying new lineup at Roseville Hyundai. From EVs and hybrids to our fuel cell vehicle, Hyundai Nexo. We've got you covered. Claim yours today.
Score that touchdown and run it up again. Score that touchdown and run it up again. SF Niners, we just win. SF Niners, we just win. I'm from that field, I'm from that field. 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 I'm from that field.
Our first SunPower Electric game tonight is the Division V AA state title game hosted by Houston. The Huskies overcoming an 18-point deficit to Ripon Christian in the NorCal title game for a chance at their first state title in program history.
Houston taking on the Muir Mustangs out of Pasadena. It's our SunPower Electric game. Now, Aubrey was there.
Electric game.
It's cold and wet, but the Huskies aren't going to let stuff like the weather rain on their parade. The culmination of the Houston Huskies season, the Huskies get to host a state title game in the Division IV AA division against a seemingly foreign opponent. Muir of Pasadena comes into the game with a 9-7 overall record located 300 miles away from Husky Memorial Stadium. Liam Bridgeford was phenomenal in the NorCal title game last week. The field is muddy. The game is going to be won in the trenches. Houston 1 win away from its first state title. Let's get to our SunPower Electric game. The Husky offense with a 3-and-out early, but it doesn't matter. The defense forces the turnover. Roy Prunty recovers the fumble. Then it's David Delgado getting the handoff on the next play, making his way through the pack, breaking free. He gets knocked out of bounds just short of the goal line, and Bridgeford is the one to score. Liam breaks the plane, gives the Huskies the lead, and a safety on the next Mustang drive makes it 9-0 after 1. Second quarter, Liam Bridgeford making his way through thick mud, picking up a huge gain and putting the Huskies in great field position. But the Mustangs defense returning the favor, a fumble on the play, and Emmanuel Meacham picks up the loose ball, takes it back the other way. The rain just wreaking havoc in this game. Muir gets on the board with just under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Mekhi Clark plows into the end zone. He takes a moment to get back up, but Clark would end up being okay playing the rest of this game. Fourth quarter, 9-6 Houston. Time winding down for the Mustangs. It's fourth down. They need a first down. Clark hits Alexander Miller, but Kevin Jones knocks him down just shy of the first down marker. Now all Houston needs is a first down, and who do you call to get that? That's Bridgeford, of course. Liam gets the first down with 42 seconds left on the clock. All they need to do now is take a knee. Houston wins its first state title, and the Huskies bring home the hardware on a rainy December day in Houston. Let's chat with Liam.
We've been working hard for like 17 weeks at this, and to be able to do it with this group of guys, how we push through adversity the whole entire year. No one since the beginning of the year, since 7-on-7, thought we were going to make it this far, but we pushed through everything. Everyone was saying Muir by 20, Muir by 21. This is a blowout. We shouldn't even show up, but we showed up and they didn't.
Nick Pecoraro at the annual Holy Cup Tuesday night. Christian Brothers hosting Jesuit on the pitch. Here we go. About 17 minutes into the first half, Aiden Sandmeyer with the cross to the left, and there he finds Jack Casno. Left foot, right post. The sophomore gets his first career varsity goal, and Big Red leads 1-0. About 8 minutes later, Jesuit in Falcon territory again, but Colin Ross puts a body on it, and Christian Brothers clears it out of harm's way. 30th minute, free kick coming for CB. They pull the okey doke. Nicholas Vasilopoulos leaves it for Jacob Cobain, but goalie Andrew Perry had that one sniffed out, and the Marauders keep it at 1-0 at the break. Second half, about 11 minutes in, Christian Brothers has them where they want them, and this time Cobain cashes in. The freshman comes through with his first varsity goal, and we're all square at 1 apiece. Midway through the second half, Falcons pushing down the far sideline, but Perry, the goalkeeper, comes out of nowhere to cut it off and spoil another opportunity for CB. Perry was big down the stretch for Jesuit. Here he is again, taking away a look from Graham Muskoff, and that keeps it at 1-1. But we've got a wild sequence here. Jesuit all up in the Falcons' kitchen. MJ Gillis' header is online, but it's just high off the crossbar. Jesuit's trying to play the rebound, and it's Talbot Carter with the go-ahead smash to put Big Red up 2-1 with 12.5 to go. 5 minutes and ticking now. CB on a corner kick. Jack Bergfeld with a nice ball. Nearly an own goal off of Jesuit, but the Falcons get another chance. Perry goes up and gets a paw on it. The ball's still live. Colin Ross takes a rip, but it's Perry with a huge save falling to his knees, and that play preserves the win for Jesuit, who improves to 3-0.
Stanford Medicine brings us great advice for athletes each week.
Here's Dr. Stephen Weiss with this week's health tip.
Most people who play a contact sport, particularly football, have experienced a stinger or burner at some point. This is also referred to as dead arm syndrome. Getting a stinger puts you at a 3-time risk for having another one in the future. Stingers are most commonly caused by a direct blow to the shoulder or head, which causes stretching of the nerves. It usually presents as temporary tingling or numbness in the arm, but can also present with weakness, usually in the muscles of your shoulder or your bicep. Symptoms usually resolve within a couple of minutes, but can last much longer. You can return to play as soon as symptoms have completely gone away and you have full strength and normal range of motion.
Coming up, meet our North Section Players of the Year.
But first, take a look at our Sac-Joaquin Section Top 10 Girls Basketball Poll, presented by Tracy Toyota.
Right now, my electrical bill is about $10 a month.
This is definitely one of the best investments we did in our house.
All over the country, people are taking control over their electric bills by going solar with SunPower. We offer the most efficient, durable panels on the market, so you can see a return on your investment every month.
I was paying $220 a month. Now I pay about $22 a month.
Right now, 49ers faithful get a $1,000 Visa reward card from SunPower. Go online today.
Summer's in full swing. Remember, SMUD's peak hours are 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays when electricity use is the highest. Shift some of your electricity usage to mid and off-peak hours when it costs less and renewable energy is plentiful. It's good for your bill, protects the environment, and helps our community too. Let's work together to save energy this summer. Learn more at smud.org/time of day.
Brought your baseball glove to basketball practice that turned out to be football practice? Game on, junk sleep. During Mattress Firm's Black Friday sale, get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen for a twin and save up to $700 on select mattresses. Plus, get a free adjustable base. Shop now at Mattress Firm, the official sleep partner of the San Francisco 49ers.
Welcome back to Levi Stadium. Time to announce our Fall Players of the Year for the north end of the section. Because the Sac-Joaquin section is so big, we split it up into 2 regions, with Stockton being part of the south and the dividing line between the north and the south ends of the section. I thought a lovely explanation on my part.
Yeah, I think so too. You nailed it perfectly.
I don't think there's any question from anybody.
Stockton, south, north.
Okay,
boom.
Got it.
Yuba City, north.
That was much quicker.
Modesto, south, you know. So we have 10 awards in total between the North and the South. Let's meet the players who brought home the North accolades.
We kick off awards season with ballers and scholars alike. This star-studded quintet makes up our Fall Players of the Year from the North.
Arthur Dreger, Liberty Ranch.
The North's all-around player of the year was the only player in the section's top 10 in both rushing yards and defensive tackles. Drager tallied at least 100 rushing yards and 1 touchdown in every game this season, while adding 20 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 2 interceptions, and a blocked field goal.
I wanted to be out there every second I could. I love being out there for my team and for myself, having fun.
So, is there a preference for offense or defense?
I prefer offense because I feel like I can help my team out more there, and the hits aren't as painful to take. I feel like getting hits on defense hurts more. I don't know, it's kind of strange.
Drager broke the school record with 3,655 career rushing yards while leading the Hawks to their first unbeaten regular season in school history.
Well, we've all been together for so long, most of us, since 12U, like I said. It was such a fun ride. I've had the same coach for 4 years now, Coach Warren Schroeder. Just a great coach, makes me love football.
Austin Mack, Folsom High School.
The 6'6" quarterback helped the Bulldogs repeat as D1 section champs and had Folsom competing for another NorCal title with an efficient statistical season. Mack led the section with nearly 3,500 passing yards while completing 70% of his passes for 40 touchdowns. But the stat he's most focused with is the W.
That's one thing about me. I don't really pay attention to stats like that. So I know a ton of people that are really know their stats week to week, but me, I really just play the game. So I kind of struggled when I got pulled up last year, and then really having that whole off season with my whole offense, my whole defense, my whole team, coaches, it was really the difference. It's giving me the upper hand and kind of like the advantage to be able to perform so well.
Although Mack and the Bulldogs fell shy of their ultimate goal this season, the junior 4-star recruit already has his sights set firmly on 2023.
I definitely want to get a state championship. You know, that would be the first one for Coach Doherty, which that would definitely mean a lot to me and the program, and kind of for everyone else. You know, like especially the seniors this year didn't have the chance, so I definitely want to kind of fill their shoes.
Evan Combs. Casa Roble.
After a Week 1 loss, Evan Combs led a Rams defense that allowed less than a touchdown per game the rest of the way, en route to a Golden Empire League championship.
I love the position I play, and I take it very seriously. I just put in as much work as I can so I can be good at it.
Casa had some fun on defense with a special reward for those making big plays.
Our head defensive coach, Coach Carlos, he made that hat in the chain for anytime you get a turnover on defense, like a pick or a scoop or whatever.
Needless to say, Combs cowboyed up a lot this season. He was 3rd in the section with 131 tackles, 4th in the section with 12 sacks, and had a brilliant pick 6 in the GEL title game against Dixon. The best part for Combs and the Rams? He's just a junior.
Next year, same thing, hopefully, making a lot of plays, get on the leaderboards, being a good player.
Caitlin Cochran, Whitney.
A 6'1" Oregon State-bound setter, our North Volleyball Player of the Year, was the only player in the section in the top 25 in both kills with 259 and assists with 492.
I grew up setting, which I think was a really good way to go into volleyball for me because it was kind of always the idea that you can never really convert into a setter, but you can kind of convert into a hitter or a passer if needed to. So I feel like establishing those good fundamentals for setting early really helps me out because now I'm that player that can kind of go do anything and do what I need for my team.
After the first week of the season, we interviewed Caitlin on the team's goals for the 2022 season, and she called her shot.
In my first interview this year, I said we're going to go win a section title, win a section championship. We're going to win. To be able to do that after was just really cool. I feel like from the start we were all super motivated. I feel like that was just a really cool thing to see that we stayed with our goal and everyone stayed motivated throughout the whole time.
Avery Mall, Granite Bay.
Our North Scholar Athlete of the Year is Avery Mall from Granite Bay Water Polo. A UC Santa Barbara commit, Avery sported a robust 4.75 GPA during polo season and has a cumulative 4.5 GPA for her entire scholastic career at Granite Bay. Something for Mall that's a point of pride.
I was really excited about that. I dedicate a lot of my life to polo and academics, so to be awarded something that recognizes that, I was just really grateful, and it was an honor. I was super excited.
Not only did Avery crush it in the classroom, she also led the Sierra Foothill League with 115 goals and led the Grizzlies to their 7th straight league championship in 2022.
That's something I've been looking forward to since my freshman year. And obviously it means a lot to just keep that legacy going and build it for the underclassmen and just be able to serve as a representation of what Granite Bay can be and just set that baseline and keep us competitive. So it meant a lot to end my senior year on that high note.
Out to South Sac, where 3-1 Rosemont took a non-league trip down to Monterey Trails to face the 3-0 Mustangs. 3 minutes into the game, Monterey Trail gets a penalty shot, Adriana Manriquez for the Mustangs takes her time here and knocks it in. Monterey Trail again on the attack only minutes later, but keeper Grace Svedich of Rosemont comes out of the box to make the save. Nice play there. She was a busy one. At the 19th minute mark, Rosemont's Natalie Espandola really gets into this one. It's a 40-yard boot over the keeper's head and into the top part of the goal. We are all tied. 44th minute now. Monterey Trail with the free kick. Zaploy Veretta sends this one way downfield. Hope Northrop Martin tracks it down, settles, and shoots it with the left foot, but it's just wide. We're still tied. In the 52nd minute, another breakaway for the Mustangs as Amanda Doe gets a good shot on goal, but it's just wide as well. Monterey Trail continues to put the pressure on. Northrop Martin with a breakaway. Again, another chance for the keeper for Rosemont. Svedich pokes it away. One more time. Later in the contest, about the 70th minute mark, Mustangs Northrop Martin with the ball leads it down the field to Amanda Doe, who can't get the shot off as keeper for Rosemont. It's who else? Svedich with the save, and the two teams battle to a 1-1 draw. Grace Svedich for Rosemont was a busy one, stopping 7 shots on goal.
Coming up, the Mattress Firm Perfect Match, Laguna Creek and Sacramento in boys basketball.
But first, here is this week's Spirit Corner featuring the cheer team from Houston.
Trevor was born a champion. He knows how to make lemonade from lemons. He also knows that comfort is all year round. So sometimes when you can't make lemonade, you make hot chocolate. Today, Trevor is proud to be a service champion. We're now offering a $58 2-for-1 special. You'll get a comprehensive AC tune-up and a free furnace safety inspection. High five service, champion attitude. Call 800-5-CHAMPS.
Score that touchdown and run it up again. Score that touchdown and run it up again. SF9ers, we just win. SF9ers, we just win. I'm from that field, I'm from that field. 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 I'm from that field.
49ers Sac-Hi Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Stanford Medicine, #1 in Northern California for orthopedics, and by SunPower, a proud sponsor of the San Francisco 49ers.
For tonight's Mattress Firm Perfect Match, we head to the hardwood. Sacramento High basketball is looking very strong starting out its season. Senior Mike Wilson is averaging just over 15 points a game.
Laguna Creek is also having a great start. The Cardinals come into the game with Sacramento with a 5-1 record. Jalen Flannery is the Cards' talented point guard. Sac-Hi and the Creek playing in the first round of Monterey Trail's Mark Makers tournament on Thursday night.
Nick Pecoraro back at the Mark Makers tournament at Monterey Trail, this time with our Mattress Firm Perfect Match, Laguna Creek versus Sac-Hi. Creek looking good early as KJ Ramey gets things popping with the tray, but Sac-Hi was fierce on the defensive end. Check out Kendall Hearn. Look out below. We're just going to stay rolling right here because Kendall decides he wants a little more of that smoke. A nifty little lay-in right there, and we're all tied up at 13 after 1. Second quarter, Dante Walls gets into the action for the Cardinals. He had 13 to lead Laguna Creek on Thursday. And then it's Elijah Gilliard stepping in with the steal and the bucket. Cards lead 20-15 midway through the second, but here come the Dragons. Swarming on the press, Demarion Taylor scoops it up and leads Mike Wilson for the layup. And then here's sophomore Sir Marius Jones with the deep three that eventually rattles home. One of 4 triples on the night for Jones. And then Hearn works it inside to Shabal Barksdale for a 12-2 run to close the half up 27-22. More of the same to open the third. Jones with the scoop pass to Mike Wilson on the break. But here come the Cards. Dante Walls in transition. Get up, young fella. Laguna Creek starting to make a move. Josiah Carr with the pump fake and baseline drive. A sweet little up and under, but the Cards still have work to do. Fourth quarter, Carr gets it back off the feed from Khalil Wolford, and Laguna Creek shrinks the gap to 5 with 3 minutes to go, but the Dragons' D was too strong. Wilson with the steal, outlet to Hearn, who lobs it up for Sir Marius Jones, and then Shabal Barksdale off the rebound with the freaking laser beam of an outlet pass to Jones. Thank you, Sir Marius. May I have another? Jones led all scorers with 18 on Thursday, and Sac-Hi wins 65-51.
The St. Mary's Rams and Oak Ridge Trojans playing in the Folsom Vista Winter Classic. Winner plays Folsom for the championship. The Rams up early. Check out this feed from Lele Tanuvasa. Pausing in midair, she feeds Nia Lowry. She drains a mid-range J. Next Trojan possession, Sophia Williams with the long pass over to Jessica Crenell. That long ball is good for 3, 4-3 St. Mary's. Tanuvasa, though, she can dish it, driving to the rack, throws backwards to Mia Warren. Nice pass, nice drain, 5-point Rams lead. We've seen her dish it. Here is Lele sinking it. 3-point play. St. Mary's would go on to take the 12-point lead. Crenell cuts into that lead, going around the defense and putting down the floater. 3 minutes left in the first. Williams up ahead to Ava Edwards. The sophomore pulls up, sets her feet, and gets the 3. 23-16 St. Mary's. But the Rams senior Nia Anderson gets a 3 of her own. It would be a 14-point Rams lead at the half. Edwards to Brooke Williams, 1 pivot, and the jumper is good. But Tanuvasa continues her tear in the second half, grabbing the board and going in for the score. 3-point play there, 12 points on the night for the point guard. Then the Rams passing around the perimeter in the closing seconds of the third quarter. Jordan Lee over to Lowry. There's the buzzer, 45-33 St. Mary's. Jordan Lee would finish the game with a game-high 13, a highly sought-after recruit for the Rams there as St. Mary's wins it 57-32 and would go on to win the tournament with a win over Folsom in the championship game Saturday.
This season, Service Champions Heating and Air Conditioning is shining a spotlight on athletes who give it their all in their sport and give back to their schools.
In this week's Service Champions Student Spotlight, we feature Lizzie Sue from Mountain House. When Lizzie isn't playing tennis for the Mustangs, she serves as the president of 2 clubs on campus. She is the speech and debate president and the president of the Random Acts of Kindness Club. Great job, Lizzie, in being a champion in service for your school. Coming up, we'll meet our players of the year for the South.
And later, Grant plays in the Division III AA state title game. You're watching 49ers Sac-Hi.
Choosing the players of the year is always a tough task. There were so many incredible athletes to choose from.
Here are the 6 athletes chosen as our players of the year for the South.
We head south for our Players of the Year. 4 gridiron greats and 2 volleyball court queens round out the best of the South.
Blake Nicholson, Manteca High School.
One of 2 athletes to find his way to the awards podium in back-to-back years is Manteca's Blake Nicholson. Our Defensive Player of the Year in 2021, Blake leveled up to our all-around player this season.
Making plays is basically what I love to do, so it was just a great career I had here at Manteca High School, and I'll remember it forever.
The senior ran for more than 1,500 yards and scored 26 touchdowns, along with 703 yards through the air and another 14 scores for the section champion Buffaloes. He found the end zone 6 or more times in 3 games this season. On defense, he racked up 44 tackles and 4.5 sacks. But even with those eye-popping numbers, Blake thinks he can always do better.
It's great to see my accomplishments, but I still feel like there's always better you could do. So I like to try and build on the stuff that I've accomplished.
As you might expect, Mr. Nicholson is D1 bound. He committed to Florida State to play linebacker.
Went out there 2 times. And every time I've been there, it just felt like home, just with the fans, the coaches, just everything. I just really felt like the place to be for me.
Tyler Jackledge, Central Catholic.
It wouldn't be a Player of the Year show without someone from Central Catholic. Our South Co-Offensive Player of the Year award goes to the Raiders' Tyler Jacklich. The senior exploded onto the scene, making the most of his first chance to start. The Raiders' jackhammer of a running back put up more than 2,200 yards rushing and 30 touchdowns. He went over 200 yards in 5 games.
It's definitely a run-heavy offense. Everybody who plays us knows, Central Catholic loves to run the ball. They always got a running back there. Something that was good this year is we kind of switched it up, added a couple plays. Our pass to run ratio was a lot better this year. I think it was almost close to 50-50.
Tyler has several college offers and wants to play at the next level and beyond. But for now, he says he's grateful for the award and the opportunity to follow in the footsteps of his friend Aiden Ponyboy Taylor, last year's all-around player.
Seeing him do that, it was something I said to myself. I was like, I want to be there too next year, and it's something I wanted to accomplish too. And when I saw it, I was really excited. I told my whole family, got on the phone with my dad, got everybody excited. So I'm really appreciative of it.
Connor Stoddard, Downey High School.
As for the other co-offensive player of the year, that would be Downey quarterback Connor Stoddard. After winning last year's Scholar Athlete Award, the cerebral signal caller had a career year on the field, throwing for nearly 3,200 yards with 37 touchdowns. Needless to say, Connor was excited when he found out he had won.
I was ecstatic. I wanted that ever since last year, and it was an amazing feeling. I ran outside the classroom just swinging my arm around. I was just so happy.
Stoddard was a steady senior leader for a Downey team that went 10-1 and averaged 43 points a game. Connor says the highlight of the season was a last-second win over Turlock.
They're ahead in the game. Then we had that fourth quarter drive. We got two minutes something left, and we drive down, and then we're all set up for a field goal. When he made that field goal, it was just ecstatic. I makes brings tears to my eyes just thinking about it. We all ran on the field. It was like there was no other moment like that.
And Connor isn't the only Downey player to be receiving one of our awards.
It's super awesome to have someone else and 2 dudes from Downey doing it, and Downey's getting recognized too much, so it's awesome to be able to do that and put Downey on the map.
Connor handed it off to his teammate Ethan Rowland.
Ethan Rowland, Downey High School.
Our South Defensive Player of the Year was actually with Connor when they got the news.
I was with him when he walked out of the room and threw his fist in the air, so I was just watching it and I was like, this is crazy. I was with my friends and we were like, me and Connor both did this, the work really paid off.
And then some. Ethan led a defense that helped Downey to its first 10-0 start since 1985. And the Knights' defense sometimes resembled the 85 Bears, giving up just 16 points a game. Ethan racked up 114 tackles on the season and says he had a clear motivation from day one.
The guy I set goals to was David Gorman. He was a really big linebacker here, and I set his tackles. I had on a board, and I laid out the games, and I counted down to trying to beat his record. He had 106. I finished with 114, so I got you there, David.
But Ethan's biggest motivation is his uncle, Stockton Fire Captain Max Fortuna, who was tragically killed earlier this year.
He would have been at most of the games. He definitely would have been at that Tracy game that I think was the best game of my year. It's really, really good to see how it really turned out, and I'm getting the recognition, and it's all for him.
Emily Vickers, Escalon High School.
Let's head to the court to meet our Volleyball Player of the Year. The Cougars' high-flying senior led Escalon to its 3rd straight section championship and first in D3.
The senior class especially, we have been together since 5th grade, playing club together, playing middle school volleyball all the way up into our senior year. So having just a successful 4 years means so much, especially this senior year.
Emily's elite leaping ability is one of the reasons she finished 3rd in the section in kills with 439. But Emily doesn't just live at the net. She was also 5th in the section with 109 aces, along with 348 digs.
Having that mentality that I'm gonna get this kill, even with 6 board blockers, it's just the aggressiveness where it comes in. And then defense. I just love defense so much. It's definitely my favorite part of the game, because reading the ball is just something that you have to learn.
And after being in the running for the award last year, Emily was ecstatic to bring it home in her senior season.
I called my dad. He was the first person I called. My mom heard me screaming from upstairs in my room, and she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Dad, I just got Volleyball Player of the Year. This is insane."
Ella Rishwin, St. Mary's High School.
We'll stay on the volleyball court for our Scholar Athlete of the Year, Ella Rishwain. St. Mary's sensational setter was a big reason why the Rams made it all the way to the state semis.
And just being able to play at St. Mary's has been a dream of mine since forever. So being able to go this far with my team has been amazing.
Ella finished in the top 20 in the section in assists and second on the team in kills. Not bad for someone that until this year was a libero. Versatile and also durable, Ella never left the court for the Rams.
It's a big role to fill because I know you're in every single point, especially setting, you take every ball. Just understanding what I'm doing and every single thing I do has a purpose kind of carries stamina throughout the whole match.
Ella is just as dominant in the classroom, sporting a 4.53 GPA. She says this award means a lot since it represents her two passions.
These are the two most important things in my life, volleyball and then also my school. Just seeing two things that I care about a lot and I've worked for really hard throughout just my entire upbringing, especially in high school. Seeing my hard work paying off is really rewarding.
Each week we showcase a top recruit from the Sac-Joaquin section, highlighting athletes getting lots of attention from top colleges.
This week's top recruit is Karan Borders from Antelope. In Karan's 3 seasons with varsity at Antelope, he tallied up over 3,500 rushing yards and 50 touchdowns. Karan has committed to play his college career at Sacramento State.
Coming up, our second SunPower Electric game, Grant playing San Jacinto for a state title.
Then it's Lincoln of Stockton and Bella Vista in tournament play. 49ers Sac-Hi Sports will be right back.
Every day, the sun comes up. And right on cue, the work begins. We start every morning, knowing full well we're in it for the long haul. Our work is a labor of love. No task too small, no moment uncherished. And although we're not often thanked, we rest knowing that our work is making a brighter future. This is more than milk.
Tim never leaves his wife's side. But since junk sleep gave him a crick in his neck,
who's there?
He can't turn his head to see her. Now he's convinced she's left him.
Michelle?
Only our Love Your Mattress guarantee gets you the lowest price and 120 nights to sleep on it.
You came back.
Unjunk your sleep at Mattress Firm.
Grant looking for its Cinderella season to end with a state title. The Pacers have a shot to take home its second title in school history, the first being won back in 2008.
The 13-2 San Jacinto Tigers is the Pacers' opponent. Grant is also 11-2. The two meeting at Grant's home field on Saturday night for the Division III AA title game. It's our SunPower Electric game. Here's Brian Mueller.
Electric game.
Robert and Aubrey, home field advantage was taken to an all-new level last year when in the 10 state championship games contended in the northern section, all 10 teams from the north won. Same deal in the south with those 5 teams. So that's good news for Grant here in our SunPower Electric game. For the visiting Tigers, they boast the highest rated QB in the state. Darian Dortch has thrown for 43 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions. But the Pacers have a pretty good one as well in senior Joseph JoJo McCray. He's gone for 48 touchdowns and just 5 picks. And they'll need JoJo to be at his best if the Pacers are going to take home the 3AA title. We'll pick it up late in the second with Grant up 8-6. Dortch showing off that efficient arm, fits this into a tight window to Dylan Gresham. That's his 30th touchdown catch of the season and second of the game. 13-8 Tigers. It's 20-8 now in the third, but Grant on the move. McCray throws it way up there, down the sideline to Kingston Lopa, Kingham, and the Pacers are down by just 4. A little under 5 minutes to go in the game. Grant on the doorstep again. His name is Joshua Hamilton, and he gives Grant the lead right back, but you knew it wouldn't be that easy. On the first play of the Tigers' next drive, Dortch finds Gresham in the middle of the field, and that's trouble. This guy's only a junior. His 3rd offensive touchdown of the night gives the the lead right back to San Jacinto, 26-24 with 4:23 to play. Grant back on the attack again inside the 10. Kyrell Goss-Pruitt takes this direct snap, and he will not be denied. We have another lead change, 30-27 Grant with 2:06 remaining. Could this possibly get any more intense? The answer is yes, because San Jacinto gets down the field quickly, and Dortch will do the honors himself, running in for the go-ahead score. 34-30 Tigers with a minute left. Grant gets good field position on their ensuing drive. Less than 30 seconds left from the 9. JoJo to Kyle Ryan. He's short, but the Pacers have his back, pushing him into the end zone. And Grant has a 2-point lead with 19 seconds left. One last chance for the Tigers. Final play of the game, but Hakeem Reynolds ices it for the Pacers. There were 5 lead changes in the final 5 minutes, but Grant gets the most important one, winning 36-34 in an all-time classic game.
I thought they was going to have us at the 1-yard line. Lineman came back, pushed me in the back, pushed me in the end zone. Just a wonderful moment.
I'm not going to lie, I had some heavy emotions too, because I came in there and started pushing too. So I was trying to get KJ in there. Y'all heard that roar right when he got in the end zone. So emotions was high right there.
Reporting in Sacramento for the Sun Power Electric game, Brian Mueller, 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Bella Vista taking on Lincoln of Stockton in the first round of the Antelope Holiday Hoops Classic. Big test for the Broncos. Here we go. Dribble handoff by Dons Lindsay to Isaiah Dixon, who goes strong to the cup for the Trojans. He lays it in. Nice shot there. Then Lincoln off and running. Anthony Moore up to Andrew Malera. And a quick pass to Lindsay for a 3-ball, and it's good. We stay with the play here as Lindsay's not done yet. He steals this inbounds pass and scores 2 more as the Trojans jump out to a 22-point lead. What just happened? After a timeout, Lincoln was running again. Lindsay leads it up the floor to Moore, and you got to rise up. Nice throw down by Moore, but Bella Vista does a nice job at transitioning back on offense as they pick up 2 of their own. Harms to Ian Day, who lays it in for the Broncos. Then it's Dylan Harms for Bella Vista, attacking off the dribble, putting in the work here. Lincoln still on the attack. The shot is missed, but Dylan Finster is there for the putback. And the foul's the 3-point play. Trojans by 32 at the half. Bella Vista and Harms doing what they can do to cut in that Trojans lead. Dylan Harms hits a 3-ball, and Harms had 20 in the contest. Lincoln back in the half court, man, but you gotta look out for the robber. Taylor Bryant Frey stealing this pass as he heads up and scores. Taylor with 9 in the contest. Bella Vista's Damian Rickett drops in a 3-pointer here late in the contest as the Broncos, who are a quality team, but just not ready for the quickness and the explosion for the Trojans. Good example here, Lincoln off the missed shot. A breakaway for Riley Sador, who lays in. The Trojans make some waves up in the Sacramento area this past weekend. They win big.
Each week we present the Scholar Athlete Award.
This week's Scholar Athlete Award goes to Celeste Craighead from the Laguna Creek girls soccer team. The Cardinals' incredible junior goalkeeper sports a 4.0 GPA.
Coming up, Whitney and Vista Del Lago girls hoops squaring off.
Then we head to Manteca, where the Buffaloes take on Gregory. This is 49ers Sac-Hi Sports. Whitney and Vista Del Lago girls basketball coming into a Monday matchup, playing for the second time in 3 days. The Eagles and Wildcats played an overtime thriller the first time these teams met, with Vista Del Lago taking home the win.
Vista's Ella Scherziniar is leading the game with 26 points. The Cats' Harper Peterson led the game with 13 rebounds. The two teams playing the rematch in Rockland Monday night.
Brian Mueller here to see Vista Del Lago and Whitney matching up for the second time in 3 days Monday night. The Eagles beat Whitney 49-43 in overtime in tournament play last weekend. The Wildcats probably sick of seeing Ella Screenars, who scored 26 last time. Nice reverse lay-in. Vista trails by 2 in the first. Then later in the quarter, Alexa Moore spins and slings to Screenars for the 3. Eagles up 9-8. Tied up in the second, Kendall Dykstra grabs the rebound, which leads her perfectly right down the court for the lay-in, and the Wildcats have the lead. Little over 2 minutes to go in the quarters. Sammy Schuler on the move ahead to Dykstra, and she shows some strength on the finish, plus the foul. Whitney leads by 5. Then a nice inbounds play by Whitney. Maile Takahashi to Dykstra for the corner 3. The Wildcats up 8. Whitney trying to hold for the final shot of the half, but Ursula Chen gets the steal. Just a few seconds left on the clock, and Chen beats the buzzer, laying it in just in time. Eagles trail by 4 at the break. In the third, Harper Peterson to Schuler for 3. 30-28 Whitney. To the fourth now. Here comes Screenars again, picks off the pass and gets another tough finish to go. Vista down 6, but that's when the Wildcats really took off. Schuler, a long outlet to Dykstra for the leaner. Then Dykstra jumps the passing lane, and it's a cakewalk from there. It was all part of a 12-0 Whitney run to put the game away, and the Wildcats get some revenge, winning the rematch 53-38.
Tracy area sports coverage is presented by Tracy Toyota off Freeway 205 in Tracy, with you all the way.
Out to Manteca, where the 3-0 Gregori Jags took on the 6-0 Buffaloes from Manteca. 7 minutes into the game, we got some action. Riley Rodriguez pushed the ball to Emma Stevens, who gathers, makes a move, and takes a shot on goal, and it's in. 1-0 Jags. A minute later, Gregori strikes again as Rodriguez with another cross to Alexis Lopez, who uses the right foot to smack it into the back of the net. 2-0 Jaguars. In the 10-minute mark, Manteca gets on the board. This is senior Cameron Silva with the ball, and she can scoot. She angles it in for her first goal of the game. More from her just in a minute. Like 3 minutes. It's the 13th minute now, and Cami Silva with the steal, and she gets herself a breakaway goal. Top shelf, mind you, and we're all tied up at 2. In the 22nd minute, Manteca back on the attack. Silva with the ball again, and the University of Alabama commit makes Gregori pay once more. Her third goal of the half, and Camabama has struck, ladies and gentlemen. And Camabama was not done yet. Silva nets her fourth goal of the half, and Manteca leads by 2 at the recess. Camabama, get used to that name this year. In the 54th minute, Gregori cuts into the Buffalo lead here with this long goal by Alexis Lopez just over everyone's head and in. It's now a 4-3 game. With only like a minute to go in the contest, the ref calls a foul, so the Jags get a free kick, and that's all Allison Hugh would need as she ties the game up at 4, and that was the final as Gregori and Manteca finished in a 4-all draw.
Remember, you can buy all of the game footage we shoot throughout the week. Go to 49ers Sac-Hi-Sports.com to order entire game videos.
Follow us on social media for more prep sports content. 49ers.Sac-Hi is our handle on Instagram and Twitter.
Coming up, we'll choose the play of the week. This could be the play of the week, maybe not.
But first, take a look at our final Sac Joaquin section top 10 football poll presented by Tracy Toyota.
We're back to announce tonight's play of the week.
Our maniac Mark Willis will list off a few contenders and then announce the winner of the play of the week.
Play of the week. We start in Escalon. It's Owen Nash picking off this pass in the state title game for the pick 6. How about Varick Lewis and his no-look bounce pass? Great play by Monterey Trails. Hoopster right there. But here we go. It's Sacramento's Kendall Hearn, and you got to rise up to make this tomahawk slam. Hearn, you get the play of the week.
That's the play of the week, and that is 49ers Sac-Hi Sports for this week. Thank you for watching. I'm Aubrey Tolliver.
And I'm Robert Brownstein. Join us next week when we'll have a full show of great winter highlights with basketball and soccer taking center stage. We'll see you then.